In this video, I'm going to explain how to easily solve a 5x5 Rubik's Cube using the reduction method. This method consists of 3 main steps. First, make the centers. Next, pair up all the edges. And finally, solve the rest like a 3x3. Let's get started. So the first step is making the centers. This step is pretty intuitive, but I'll show you some techniques that I like to use. This step is also pretty flexible, so you can really start wherever you want. In this case, I'm going to start with white. So a technique that I like to use a lot of the time is making bars. So what I'll do is first try to bring up these 2 center pieces, or these 2 center edge pieces, we'll call them. See them down there, so I'll bring them up like that. So now we have that 1 bar. Here we can make our second bar because we already have these 2, and then the last piece is there. So we'll bring them down, move this over, and move it back to create the bar. And then we can put that up like that. So now we just need this last bar. I see 1 piece right there, so I can bring that over like that. And then I see the last piece right here, so move that over, bring it in like that, and that is the last bar. And then we can just move it into place. So that is 1 center. This is another case I see kind of frequently where there's like already a bar in. So what I like to do with this case is bring up one of these center edge pieces, kind of to knock the bar out, and then bring it back like that. So now you have this sort of T. And this is a really, really nice case because if you take one of the other center edges and knock it out, or like preserve it, now you have a bar there, and you can move that over, bring it back, and now you have 2 bars like that. And now we'll just make the 3rd bar like we did before, like that. And you always have to remember to preserve the centers you've already done, so you couldn't just move it up because then it would mess up that center. So you have to do it like that. And that's the first 2 centers. Another technique that you can do sometimes if you don't want to do it like the bars is you can kind of do it in groups of 2. So what I mean by that is, I'll do blue for this example. You can move 1 edge up like that, so now you have a group of 2. And then you have like this group of 2 right there, so we can move that up. Ooh, this is actually a pretty nice case. We have that group of 2 right there. Move that out of the way to preserve it. We can bring that group of 2 up. So now we just did this. Instead of doing 2 bars, we almost did like 2 groups of 2. And then the last 3 is really easy. We can just move that right up. So for orange, I can bring this edge up to make like a bar like that. And now I see I kind of have the like T case I talked about before. So I will move that over, move this edge over so I can do that again to get the 2 bars. And now we can just do the 3rd bar like normal. So I'll bring this piece out, and then I will make the final bar, and then bring it up. So now we're on the last 2 centers, and I'm kind of going to do the like block of 2 strategy with this. So bring that block of 2 up. Now I can bring that block of 2 up, and then that just leaves us with a pretty easy case where we can just move this last bar up by bringing that down, makes the bar, move it over, and bring the bar up. A lot of times with the last 2, you may end up with a case like this where you kind of have 2 switched corner centers. And what you can do with this is line them up like this so they're right next to each other. Then you can bring this little block of 2 down, move it over, so that way when you bring this side back, it'll make a bar. And then you can just put the bar into place like that. If you end up with a case like this where you have to switch 2 edges, you can just do a quick commutator. So you'll move that side up to move that edge into place. You'll move this whole side over, slice like that, and then you'll just undo what you just did. So move that back, move that side down, move it back, and undo the slice. So you can play around with the centers. There's tons of different ways you can make them, but at the end, you're just going to end up with all the centers made like this. The next step is edge pairing. You can start wherever you want with this. I already see that these 2 pieces are together, so I might start with that. So these edges will be the ones that I'm working with right now. So what I can do is I see the 3rd piece right there, the orange-white. So I'll bring that down, slice over to make that. And then once I'm done with an edge and it's completed, what I'm going to do is move it up to the top layer and replace it with a not finished edge. So now I can slice freely any of these layers. I can't slice like that way or it'll mess up the edge that I already did. So now what I'm going to do is just keep trying to make edges on these layers, and if I need a piece from the top or bottom, what I'll do is just go like that to bring it down. I see the red and yellows here, but I don't see the center one, so I'll probably just rotate and it'll be on the other side. Here it is, so I'll put the center one down, slice over to put those two together, and then where's the last one? Oh, it's right there. I'll bring that down as well, slice over. And now, since I've been putting all my correct edges on this side, I'm going to put the last one there as well. So now we have 4 edges correct, and they're all on the same side. So I like putting them all on the same side, because now I can just rotate like this, and I won't have to worry about anything on the bottom, because they're already all done. So I won't have to look around as much when I'm searching for the pieces, which is nice. So I see the white and red here, white and red here. And I see the last one down there. So if you ever get in a case where it's in the wrong spot, so like this red white edge needs to be up there, what you can do is just do the flipping algorithm on either this edge or this edge to flip it, so that way it'll work, because you can't just bring that in, it's not in the right orientation. Just do the flipping alg real quick, and then we flip this edge, so now it can go in the right spot. If you ever end up with a case where you got an edge that's flipped like this, what I would recommend doing is setting up the last one so that if you bring it over, it'll knock out the flipped edge, and then you can just do the flipping algorithm, bring that last one back, and you got the edge completed. So now we have finished the first 8 edges, so all 4 on the top, all 4 on the bottom are done. So now we're on the last 4 edges, and there's a bunch of different stuff you can do with the step. Easiest thing is just to do like the flipping alg. So for instance, with the blue yellow here, perfect setup for the flipping alg, because we got this edge in place but flip, so we can knock it out with the correct edge, do the flipping alg, and bring it back, and that's done. So anytime you see a case like that, you can do the flipping alg. So I see again right here, similar case, so I can just do the flipping alg to correct that edge. You also may see cases like this. You can kind of do something similar to what you did for the other edges. You can bring one of the incorrect edges to the top, slice over to pair that up, and then replace it with the incorrect edge. So eventually you're just going to end up with 2 edges left, and a lot of times this will be super easy, just a quick flipping algorithm like in this case. So we will do that, and we're done. You won't end up with that super easy case every time though. The way that's best to approach this is just to try to fix one of the edges, and then you may or may not be left with parity on the final edge. So in this case I'll just do green orange, and I can kind of just do the flipping out thing. So I'll move that over here so this edge is in the right place. I can slice it over to the right spot, do the flipping alg, slice back, and now I am left with parity on the last edge. You may also end up with a case like this. So what you can do is move one edge next to the correct center, do the flipping alg. I want to get this piece up there, so I'll slice over, do the flipping alg to bring it to the top, slice back, and again I have parity. If you do end up with a case where you have just one incorrect edge, that means you have parity. So here's the alg for that. Wide R2, B2, U2, wide L, U2, wide R prime, U2, wide R, U2, F2, wide R, F2, wide L prime, B2, wide R2. So the next step is super easy. You're just going to solve it like you would normally solve a 3x3. So that is how you solve a 5x5. I made a video with some walkthrough solves if you'd like to look at more examples, so I'll leave a link to that in the description. I hope this video was helpful. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!